Hi, I'm Richard. I'm a speech and language therapist and a lecturer based in the UK. In this video, I'll explain what Viscgo drink thickness sticks are, demonstrate how they're used, discuss the theory behind how they work, and at the end, give my personal opinion about using them clinically. Viscgo sticks are tools used to test if the correct amount of thickener has been added to a drink before giving it to someone with dysphagia or difficulty swallowing. The Viscgo assessment kit comes with 5 coloured sticks and an instruction sheet with written and visual instructions on how to use them. Each stick has a distinctive colour and number which correspond to those used by the International Dysphagia Diet Standardisation Initiative, also known as IDSI, with dark grey being level 1, slightly thick, pink being level 2, mildly thick, and yellow being level 3, moderately thick. Each coloured stick is of a different size and thickness, with a flat end at the top and a beveled or pointy end at the bottom. Now that you've seen the Viscgo sticks, I will now show you how they're used. You should prepare your drink using a xanthan gum-based thickener in a cup with a flat bottom. You must make sure the cup is on a flat level surface, not on an angle, and avoid any vibrations or knocking during testing. For level 1 and 2 drinks, you use 2 sticks. Stand both sticks in the drink near the middle of the cup, at least 1 centimetre apart, with the pointed ends touching the bottom of the cup. Hold the sticks in place with your fingertips and make sure they are vertically upright, not on an angle. You let go of the sticks and wait for 10 seconds. If both sticks fall to the side of the cup, then the drink is too thin. If the maximum stick, which is the one with the white banding at the top, falls but the minimum stick stands upright or is falling but does not touch the side of the cup within 10 seconds, then the drink is just right. If both sticks stand upright for more than 10 seconds, then the drink is too thick. For level 3 drinks, only 1 yellow stick is used. If it falls to the side within 10 seconds, then the drink is too thin. If it stands upright or is falling but does not touch the side of the cup within 10 seconds, then the drink is just right. To see if the drink is too thick, you have to tip the cup to see whether the drink is thin enough to pour. If it does not move, then it is too thick and is likely to be a level 4, extremely thick. After measuring the thickness or viscosity of the drink, you would then either give it to the person with dysphagia or continue to adjust the drink and retest if it failed. Now that you've seen how Viscgo sticks are used, I'll explain the theory behind how they work. When you add a thickener to a drink, it makes the liquid more viscous. This means it flows more slowly than usual. Each Viscgo stick is manufactured so that in a drink of a particular thickness, it will respond a certain way. When you place the stick in the cup, the pointed end at the bottom of the stick means it cannot stand up by itself and gravity wants to pull it over. Resisting this are 2 effects. The first, slightly less important one, is buoyant force. This is the upward push the liquid gives any object that is in it. It is determined by how much liquid is displaced or pushed out of the way. Think of Archimedes in his bathtub and water spilling out of the side. The second, more important effect is viscosity. The increased viscosity of the thickened drink creates a drag which makes it more difficult for the stick to move through the liquid as it is falling. This means the stick stays upright for longer. Each stick has been calibrated so it clearly passes or fails in a drink of a certain viscosity linked to a specific IDSI level. In a drink which is thinner or less viscous than it should be, the liquid does not provide enough resistance, so the stick falls over too quickly. In a drink with the correct thickness or viscosity, the amount of drag is sufficient to keep the stick upright for at least 10 seconds. In a drink with too much thickener, so it's too viscous, the drag is too much and the stick remains upright. Viscgo uses 2 sticks for level 1 and level 2 drinks, so you can check the lower and upper limits of the target IDSI level. The smaller minimum stick is designed to fall quickly if the drink is too thin for that level. The larger maximum stick is designed to fall within 10 seconds if the drink is not thick enough to behave like the level above. So in theory, the sticks do not test the exact IDSI level, but check whether the drink behaves like the level below or above. If not, then by process of elimination, you probably have a drink of the right level or viscosity. The sticks have been calibrated so they respond consistently to the same conditions. This includes using only xanthan gum-based thickeners rather than starch-based thickeners. Xanthan thickeners are generally seen as more reliable because their viscosity remains stable over time, over different temperatures, different pH levels, and they do not break down in the mouth as much when mixed with enzymes and saliva, unlike starch-based thickeners. Essentially, the viscous properties of a starch-based thickener are different to a xanthan gum thickener, and there is often more variation in the real world when mixing starch thickeners with different drinks. The same conditions also include immersing the sticks in a cup where 200 millilitres of liquid makes the drink at least between 6.5 and 7.5 centimetres deep. If the drink was shallower, then there is less liquid around the stick, and the balance between gravity and the liquid's resistance changes so the stick can fall more quickly than intended, and this gives an inaccurate result. Finally, it also includes starting the sticks from a vertical position. If the position is altered even slightly, then gravity creates a greater turning effect on the stick, so it falls more quickly than intended, and again gives an inaccurate result. You would wrongly think the drink is too thin and add more thickener. I'm now going to share my personal thoughts about the Viscgo sticks. To test whether a drink with thickener is the right viscosity or not, IDSI currently recommends using the flow test. This involves adding 10 millilitres of your drink into a funnel or syringe like this. You place your finger at the bottom and then release it and count for 10 seconds. Once the time is up, you place your finger back and see how much of the drink is left in the funnel. IDSI have produced specific funnels like this, which make it easier for you to pour your drink into the funnel directly and have the specific IDSI levels on the side, so you can clearly see what level of thickness the drink is. These cost me $24.75 for a pack of 10. They can be reused, but they are very expensive for what they are. They also have been out of stock several times when I've tried to buy them. If you don't have these kinds of funnels, most speech therapists would use a normal 10 milliliter BD syringe like this. These are significantly cheaper to buy on bulk, but are often fiddlier to use. You often have to use one syringe to suck up 10 millilitres of the drink, and then insert it into the second syringe, one that you've already removed the plunger. There is also sometimes issues whether you're using the right kind of syringe, as this can sometimes affect the flow of the drink in the syringe itself. The Viscgo sticks in comparison are significantly cheaper than the IDSI funnels. It costs £12 to buy the assessment set which I've demonstrated today, which includes the 5 sticks. You can buy more expensive assessment packs which include the measuring cup, a stirrer and a carry case, which might be useful for an individual speech and language therapist conducting assessments. You can also bulk buy 5 sticks for an individual IDSI level for £12, which is more cost effective if you are buying them for, say, a team of speech therapists, or perhaps a setting with lots of people with dysphagia, such as a hospital ward or a care home. Now, this is not to say I think they are fantastic value for money. Like the IDSI funnels, they are reusable and just need to be washed between uses, but I do wonder how durable the level 1 sticks are over the longer term, given how small and thin they are. They are also the ones most likely to be used in dysphagia assessments repeatedly. The smaller one in particular also feels like it could get lost easily or could go easily down a plug when washing it. Where the Viscgo sticks represent excellent value for money is how they are used and the staff time they potentially save, which is always the biggest cost in healthcare. Using the Viscgo sticks is much easier and quicker than the IDSI flow test, even if you are using the more expensive funnels. You don't have to do any special preparation to the drink or think about where you are assessing its viscosity like you do with the flow test. You just put the sticks in the drink and that's it. You don't waste any drink after the test is done, unlike the flow test where it has to be thrown out. You just take the sticks out of the drink and that's it. It's also easier and quicker to wipe down and wash the sticks than flushing out the IDSI funnel, though obviously this is less of an issue if you're using the disposable BD syringes. A group of researchers at the University of Manchester have completed a validation study on the Viscgo sticks, which I'll link in the description down below. They found that 98% of clinical staff preferred using the sticks over the flow test for convenience, time and ease of use, which I agree with completely. But I suspect the greatest clinical and financial savings will be made when they're used by catering or nursing staff in settings where there are lots of people with dysphagia. I see the sticks as equivalent to thermometers used to test the temperature of food to make sure it is safe to eat. It is a safety check which stops inappropriately thickened drinks being given to people at source. The sticks give very clear visual feedback whether a drink is appropriate or not. The Viscgo website includes lots of extremely helpful visuals that could easily be printed out and put on kitchen walls for staff to follow, or videos to watch that could be used during staff training. In a setting which currently does no or minimal checks on their drinks, then the extra workload of adding a stick into the drink compared to completing the flow test is almost negligible, so it may be tolerated more in settings where there are limited staff around mealtimes. Drinks often have to be left to stand for a couple of minutes as per the instructions of some thickeners before they can be given to people anyway, so it's just a case of adding something new into an established routine. In summary, the benefit of using these sticks is that people with dysphagia are more likely to be given a thickened drink of the right viscosity. As a speech and language therapist, I've sometimes received inappropriate referrals for people who, when I assessed them again, were no different to their previous assessment. The issue was simply that they were being given an incorrect amount of thickener in their drinks for different reasons. These sticks, which likely prevent some of these inappropriate referrals from happening, and also give speech therapists a tool to help train staff up and quality check what they give people to drink going forwards themselves. Given that it is significantly cheaper and quicker than the current flow test methods, it's a win-win, and it's definitely something that I would use in my own clinical practice. So that's what Viscgo sticks are and how they're used. If you found this video useful, then consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. Maybe go watch my video on the Phagia Flex, which is a device used to complete chin tuck against resistance exercises to rehabilitate someone's swallow. Otherwise, thanks for watching and take care.